Hi, this is Vaughan Smith at Westcote Bell Pottery in Nova Scotia, Canada. I am going to unpack one of those very special kiln firings, an earthenware fired to cone 01. No, actually this is 04. The bisque firing is to cone 01, and that way the glazes don't craze. If bisque higher, get more compression on the glaze, etc. So this is an earthenware, high earthenware cone 04, I call it. I did a couple of tests first because I mixed up a new glaze, two new glazes actually. This is an earthenware transparent, and this is fired to cone 04, and I wanted to see, if it was a complete clear or if it had a little cloudiness to it. And on the bottom you can see where it was a bit thick there's a slight cloudiness in that drip area. So basically my wife did this piece, so it's working. We'll see what the ones in here look like, because this is the same temperature. This is fired to cone 5, so the same slip decoration, a different clay body. This is actually a red stoneware, which is number 80 from Laguna, and it stays more orange, which is what I was going to try and like about it. Orange is orange, I guess. The brick red I think I prefer, but this is a nice orange, so I'm not unhappy with this. But the black is darker, and so I think this is more preferable. And you can hear a kiln firing behind me, and that is a whole bunch of pieces in this temperature, cone 5, with this glaze on. And this glaze, I mixed up two glazes, 50-50 each one, a cone 4 clear glaze, which I always use on those stencil pieces I do, and then I had the cone 6 clear glaze, which I wasn't that happy with. It's slightly cloudy. I've been putting it on my flower pieces, but these are cone 5, and it's really good, very clear. You can't tell because I didn't glaze the bottom of this one, but there doesn't seem to be any cloudiness anywhere. So here we go, cone 04, clear glaze on everything. Let's get you looking down in here. All right, so these are all lids that are obvious, and they're clear glaze with that 04, and this is clearer. I did a slightly longer soak on this. I did a 30-minute soak. So basically, longer soak means the temperature goes up a little higher for a cone 04. Maybe you even get to 03 a little bit. And so, these are little lids. I put them on top of coffee mugs. So I've shown you that one, and there's a lot here, so we can skip through these and put them on as we find the mugs. Just all birds. Took a long time to paint these, so that you have to price accordingly when you do things like this. But because of the lockdowns, we aren't allowed to sell anything. So I have all this time on my hands, and I've got a lot of inventory, so I'm just making things now that take longer to make. I got a video, I'm doing some sculpted bird pieces, and I'll post that video in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. It seems like it's 2 weeks when I do them these days before I post them. So a lot of birds here. Let's get these all undone. My wife, same type of thing, but she made cat heads for her pieces, and she painted the actual disc of the lid as well. So these are meant for coffee mugs. She has a mug to go with each one of these. Actually, the mugs for these are in the other firing, so we won't see the lids for those ones in this firing. But she painted, these are really time consuming to make, because she really sculpted them and then painted them. So there's a lot of work in the lids of these. So when I unpack the other kiln, which will be after this kiln, I will show you these sitting on. Isn't that cute? Look at that. I don't know which ones they are. We have 6 cats, so Could be our cats. These are, you'll see the jars for these in this firing, but look how clear that is. That's a really nice clear glaze. I've posted this clear glaze out on a previous video, so you can get the recipe off that video. When you make a lid, you've got to be able to pick it up without dropping it. So that, remember, I mean, there's various ways you could pick this up, but it's textured, so that also helps. There we go. I think I made somebody nervous by putting them on the side of the kiln, so I'll try not to do that. But there you go. That one's got a little cloudiness in it, but it's a really clear glaze. Okay, can you see? Let's see what we have underneath here. Okay. These are the advanced kiln shells, obviously. What do we have? I fired. Now I've got to be careful because on earthenware, these come off very easy. And they don't even leave a sharpness. One of my flower painted pieces. Now these are the ones where I'm doing the stenciling to make the flowers pop. And I posted that video. I can do a link to that at the end as well. But these are looking really nice. And they have lids. So let's see which lid fits here. That one fits. And then again, I have to be careful because I've had these drop down and break pieces in the past. So the flower paintings really look much nicer on the earthenware than they did on the stoneware. So we're always learning, we're always trying new things. So basically maybe I should be painting more on earthenware. Underglazes, the higher you fire, the slightly less opaque they become and less intense. So that's why we still do some earthenware, which is fired bisque to 01 and glazed to 04. But there you go. Let's see if I have the lid for that one. There's actually another 2 jars. Those are the lids for those. That's a, you know, just size for sugar or coffee, I would say. There we go. I'm not sure if I have the right lids on there yet or not. Now, as I've said before, when we do these videos, because these are very special pieces, if you see one that you like, just look at the timestamp on the video and tell me. These sell at 95 Canadian, which is about 65 US, I think. You just have to tell me the time you see it. These, let's see, I'll take Jackie's out first. This one might be sold already. Somebody asked me for a whale piece, so we'll have to show them this. But it's, I guess it's the first person who calls. There we go, seagulls. These are totally hand-painted pieces. My wife does use some pieces of paper when she's painting to mask out, to protect an area, because she then, you know, paints around the edges and such. So that's why you'll see the sharp edges there. But the paper masking, she does that just like I do. Oh, she has a matching pair of these. Now that would be very special. When I did this firing before, a lot of these mugs, some went to Australia, Denmark, the UK, the United States. So these mugs were shipped all over the place. Actually, I'm not going to take any chances with these, so I will put them safely on another kiln lid. My wife's going to be very happy with these. I mean, there's just so much painting in a piece like this. Ha, there's got to be a story there. Listening to the crow tell a story. My wife used to do children's books. You can actually find her books probably anywhere, online and everywhere. But one was called Something for Nothing. And they were both written by Anne Stampler, illustrated by Jacqueline Cohen, and what was the other one called? I can't remember. Schlemazel and the Remarkable Spoon of Pohost. That was another one of her books. So I'm sure you can find those. And if not, we got them here. We can actually send you one. I think they're only like $17 Canadian. So I guess this video will take, oh wow, that's very nice. This video is going to take a while, but I want to give you a good look. Every mug in that last firing that we did, I think it was in February or something, just every mug sold. So that's why I think it's worth looking at these closely, because a lot of people really like them. And they're not done very often. This is only the second batch of coffee mugs my wife has made this year, and it's only one shelf really in this kiln. And of course I make coffee mugs almost every other day. But, you know, she paints maybe 2 of these in a day. Depends on how intense they are. And these are only available through us. We do not sell our work to other people for resale. We just sell it right here in the gallery. Oh, and we have been told we can open on Wednesday. So we're going to be out of lockdown on Wednesday. So these will go in the gallery. We're expecting a flood of people, because everybody's been locked down for 7 weeks. I know that sounds pathetic, because Germany and the UK were locked down for months. You know, like probably 6, 7, 8 months. So we're very lucky. We've got our cases down to only 17 cases in the whole province today. So they're expecting us to get back down to 0 within a week. Yeah, I might have to post this video really, it won't be till tomorrow night, because I've got to wait for the other kiln to unpack, which will be tomorrow morning. Yeah, James Herriot mug. Oh, I fired one on a stilt. I wasn't firing these on stilts because they have a very narrow foot, and these are so special I did not want to risk a stilt collapsing. Because these little tiny stilts, when you have a big mug like this on it, can really just, the wire bends and they fall over, and that means you could damage 2 mugs. This one was fired on a stilt as well. Very wide base, so I was able to use a much bigger stilt. There we go. Now we go to the carved mugs. Let's see, is this, yeah, this is really, this was a good firing. Longer soak made it black. So the black is more intense on the first one that I did in my test kiln. I don't think I gave it much of a soak at all. So this earthenware glaze just needs a bit of a soak. I'll have to look at the profile to see how long I did. I'm pretty sure it was about 30 minutes. My wife is getting hand pain doing these mugs, so there's a worry that she's getting carpal tunnel. So she doesn't do a lot of carved pieces anymore. Every piece she does is unique. Of course, you can press stop anytime in this video to take a longer look at a piece. And that's when you can take the timestamp as well. Yeah, when we shipped the pieces to the UK and Australia on the same day, the pieces took 9 weeks to get to the UK on the cheapest package rate, small packet I think they call it, where it took 9 weeks to get to the UK. And strangely enough, it took the same amount of time to get to Australia. Lots of yellow on that piece. And when you're doing those sgraffito carved pieces, I layer them, I basically dip them upside down in white slip, sometimes twice, and then I'll do brush yellow slip over the top of the white. And then I spray them black. Okay, only one more mug. Another hand-painted mug for my wife. So there are 2 of these sheep mugs too. The other one had a horse on it. This one just has sheep in a really rich sunset. Make sure the stilt is still on there, so let's lift. See how but they're barely holding on. So it's another painted, large canister here. Oh, the lid goes on these too. I bet I have. Which lid is it? That's not that one. It was probably the bigger one of the other one. No, not that one either. So it must have been this one. Side door. Yeah, there we go. I had the wrong lid on the other one. So there we go. So the stenciling makes them pop a lot. Another tall thin. Let's make sure this stilt doesn't fall off. Let's look at that, see? Oh, that one's on a bit, that comes off pretty easy. So I have 2 in this pattern of painting and then 2 with all the flower colors on. These really turned out much nicer than the stoneware. And then these are appearing in a video. I painted these basically, so you'll see this really well, how I made it in a video. Alright, so, and when you see the video on how I painted these, you will see how long it takes to do them, because this is a really nice technique, but it takes a long time. And then we have another one. Oh. There you go. So there's a matching pair of these two lamps, and then the tall ones that are coming out next. One of them is already sold. Yeah, so this one, there you go. One of these tall ones is already sold anyway, but the other one's available. Oh, there we go. I had to lift them up with my little finger in the hole there. There you go. All right. So see how the greens are varied because of that. I showed you in the painting of these how the green gets a bit flat if you don't do that brushwork, and this really does have the feeling of the actual landscape. All right, so okay, here is the second kiln load, but this one is cone 5 with a red iron stoneware clay. There's a slight speckle to it, with the same slips and underglazes that are on the earthenware earlier in the video, but this is fired to a higher temperature, and we'll see what the difference is. Let's see what we have in here. And that is a total surprise, but that's my wife's piece. I didn't expect that to turn out like that. I wonder if she will like it. Let's see what we have on lids here. Here is the lid for it. There you go. That one is those cat pieces with the lid. See, the colors are pretty much the same in the underglaze. And then, I'm not sure, I don't think there's that much difference. I think I was surprised more about the color was a lot browner and not as orange. Yep, it doesn't look as orange as in the other pieces. But anyway, that's one of the pieces. Now I'm going to really make people frightened. I'll put them at the edge of the kiln. What else do we have in here? We have a bunch of carved mugs. Yeah, that still has that more browny look. I was expecting it to be a little bit more orange. Somebody wants a couple of these mugs. But so these are the carvings, sgraffito over stoneware on the red terracotta clay. Quite a different look to the white and black ones that I do on the B-mix porcelain type clay. That's a large mug too. And they're coming off the stilts really easy as well. This is my wife's. These seagulls sit right opposite me. See, that's why we have them. When I'm working, they sit on my deck posts right outside my window. Here is. It's a cat and kitten. We call these cats and kittens. But it's sgraffito, white slip on the red clay, and then the black on top of that. Here's another one of mine. Yep, 'tis the season for boats. I've already seen a couple sail by my studio. It's still chilly, but it's going to be 21 degrees today, centigrade. So what's that? 42 plus 32, it's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. They kind of have a richness to them with the red clay. Or the brown clay, I should say. Now, I've got lids for all of these, so I'll just show you one of them. So here's the stoneware equivalent of the earthenware one. Let's get one of each and show you. Actually, I don't have any earth. I got the. Let's see. Here's the. This is what they'll look like with the bird on top. Take the lid off a second. Show you earthenware versus stoneware. Not much difference, I guess. I think the purple fades out a bit more in the stoneware. The yellow's still pretty good, the red is good. The purple maybe fades out a little bit. But actually that's, this glaze has ghostly borate in, well actually this one does too, so that doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. I would say the earthenware is a little bit brighter. But there you go. That's what these guys will look like with the flower painting. So you can go clean the horse barn out, take your coffee with a lid on it, and there won't be any dirty straw falling in your coffee while you're cleaning the barn out. That was my idea behind these pieces. Keeps the coffee warm, but it also keeps dirt from falling in it. There you go. That one was glazed on the bottom. So I have a bunch of these mugs. With the bird on the lid, these ones are going to go for 69 Canadian dollars. There you go. Another one here. And there's the other style. This one really went slight. I think I may have a thicker coat of glaze. I dropped one of these in the glaze when I was glazing it. And I think it was this one because it's the glaze coat is much thicker. And I think it makes it slightly blurry. But because the others are much more clear. Yeah, it just slipped out of my hand when I was glazing it. So it had a double dip of glaze. And these are quite porous when I glaze them because it's stoneware clay. So I would say that the stoneware looks pretty good. This is a new glaze I'm doing too, so I mixed a couple of clear glazes that I have together. One's cone 4 and one is cone 6, as I said earlier in the video. And now it's cone 5. This is, whoa, look at that one. Let's find the lid to this guy. I told my wife when she did with this one, she was saying she didn't know she liked it. And I said, I love it. And I think it turned out really nice. There you go. I don't know what she's going to charge for these because I don't know. My guess is they'll be about 80 in Canadian. I'm really crowding. Let's just get Jackie's out, I think. No, that's one of my flower ones. These all have the bird lids on them. So these are all going to have those lids. So I have a whole bunch of flower mugs. And we're opening the gallery for the first time today. Oh, tomorrow rather. There you go. Here's the lid to this guy. So we've been closed for 7 weeks. And we're going to open up our showroom for the first time tomorrow. So maybe I'll try and post this video tonight. There you go. So that's a nice mug. It's a little cat head on top of it. Let's see if we can find the yellow one. I think this is this one. There you go. Hello. There you go. And let's see, I think this is this one. Yeah, my wife just paints everything different. She doesn't do any production. She just can't do that. She's told me before that she just gets too bored if she has to make two of something. And there you go. That'll look at you every time you drink. This is the last cat mug. This one's very interesting. It's got really rich colors. I'm not sure this will show up because it's quite dark. Let's get him close in there. It's got really rich colors in it. Yeah, I think that's showing up. And there's the head. And then I just have a bunch more flower paintings. They're all slightly different. Nice stoneware. Got a nice ring too. Yeah, the red with the white flowers really makes these work better. I was worried about the red at first if you saw the earlier videos. Alright. Okay, so if there's anything that you see in this video that you would like, I'd be so happy to send it to you. Anyway, I'll put some prices on them in the video, I guess, just to show what they are. You know, basically, we have quite a few pieces here, so I don't think there's any rush over it, but we are going to open the gallery for the first time in La Have, Nova Scotia, westcoatbellpottery.ca. So tomorrow will be the first time we've been open in over 7 weeks. So just give me a shout at the phone number and email at the end of this video and let me know if there's anything you would like. And we do PayPal, and you can do e-transfer within Canada, and credit cards if you want to do that too. Alright, thank you very much. Bye-bye. The lamps you're seeing here, the shorter ones are $150 and the larger ones are $195. The shades come from Walmart, which you can buy in any town in the world practically, and they're too expensive to ship on their own, so I sell the lamps separately. The small mugs with the lids that are the cat mugs are $85, and there's 6 of those to pick from. The painted mugs are similar to the ones in the video we did in March, and these ones are $90 each, and it is all in Canadian dollars as well. And there was about 18 of those, I think, that are painted. I think we photographed most of them, but you may see some in the video that are not here. The next ones will be the black and white carved mugs. There are 3 kind of tall ones that I carved, and these are all $85, and then my wife's pieces here are $89, and there were 6 there, but there's probably more of those carved that are not in the pictures. The bird mugs with the flowers are $85, and that includes the lid, and then the final slide is of the actual canisters, and the small canisters are $150 and the large canisters are $225. Thanks very much for watching.